Preview show here for Saturday night here at Los Alamitos Saturday night because we still have the doubleheaders. Orlando Pick Six carryover, 42,000 plus in the pool. Nobody hit it. How big is the pool's gonna get? I think we go over or under last time we guessed, were we okay with it?
I think we were a little bit over, just a little bit over the last time we talked about it. But that's okay. I think we're going to have a really good pool on Saturday night. During the daytime, we have our handicapping contest. Yes. So hopefully some of those players, some of those big-time players during the daytime, stick around for the carryover night on Saturday night, and that helps build that nice pool. It should still be a good one. It's $42,908 going into the Saturday night card. 10 races on tap, so the Pick Six will get started in race number 5, Jose. We should have a nice pool going in on Saturday night.
Well, I like that you're showing us different parts of Los Alamitos throughout this series. You've been hanging out in the patio. You were down at Burgart. Now you're back at the Vessels Club. That looks like a familiar spot. Where exactly are you at in the Vessels Club?
Well, I'm sitting on the corner of the Horseshoe Bar here in the Vessels Club. You know, a really nice spot here to enjoy the races. I got a couple of TVs right there in front of me. I got the beer taps right across the way from me right here. Some Samuel Adams, some Blue Moon, Pacifico, Modelo. So all I need is some buddies to, come out and hang out with me. So maybe next time that you're in the Vessels Club out here, we might kind of kick back in this corner. Maybe on Sunday, we might be, we might be enjoying a nice. What are you doing right now?
I'm calling a friend. Hold on. Hey, Orlando, you're the usual spot, the Vessels Club bar. All right, can you come join us right now? All right, cool. I got a friend joining us right now.
Great.
Orlando.
Great.
He knows the spot very well.
Okay.
Mr. Ed Burgart, welcome.
Eddie, I got a stool right here waiting for you.
It won't be the first time I've ever sat in that stool either, Orlando. I think you and I several times after some of the major races enjoyed our time in the Vessels Club, and good to see both of you guys.
Absolutely. Great to see you, Eddie. From here, we're going to go down to Burgart's later on tonight as well. So it's got a full day here planned at Los Alamitos, and looking forward to hanging out with you on Sunday, right? We're going to be blessed with your presence here on Sunday. What have you been up to? Tell us about what's going on this weekend with you.
Well, kind of a big weekend for me. It's my 50-year high school reunion on Saturday, Notre Dame High School. Actually, last year would have been my 50th, but because of COVID, it was postponed. So I'm going to be going out to Glendale Saturday night and going to my reunion. Then Sunday I'll be at Los Alamitos. I'll be doing the show with Kurt Hoover before the races. I'll stick around and watch the races that night. I got my yearly physical coming up on Monday with my doctor. And then on Tuesday, I'm getting a crown done on my upper right tooth. So a lot of the time I'm going to be spending with the doctor, but my physical is going to go great. I already got my blood work back. Levels look really good, but I've never missed a physical since I was 50, and I've had the same doctor for 29 years now.
Nice.
All right, and you got to squeeze in the UCLA game maybe during that time period.
They're off to a great start, that's for sure. And now that I live in Nevada, I've become one still call them the Oakland Raiders, but the Las Vegas Raiders now as well. And the way Derek Carr played last week, I've got to think that the Raiders are going to be tough.
Right. Anybody playing fantasy football that had Waller and Derek Carr, I'm sure they won their game, over the weekend. So great to hear from you, Eddie. Great to see you. And of course, you're also the morning line maker, both day and night here at Los Alamitos. And we have a pretty good card waiting for the Pick Six. So we thought who better to, chat about the races with this Pick Six carryover going in than the GOAT of racing, Ed Burgart.
Well, don't give me too many accolades. I just kind of enjoying being no longer in the limelight right now. I think Michael Rona's done a great job. I want to give recognition to him for taking over for me, and certainly I think everybody there has to be pleased with the work Michael's done.
We certainly are enjoying his race calls and everything that he brings to Los Alamitos. A tough task following you, but he's done a fantastic job. And so glad that you're still, involved with the racing action here at Los Alamitos as well.
So, Ed Burgart, we're going to steal a few minutes of your time. Why don't we just quick glance at this pick six sequence that we're going to have here on Saturday. And before we kind of go through it, is there one specific race that kind of, you kind of went a little bit more about the morning line? Is there one race that kind of you think is going to be very evenly matched as far as the sequence?
Well, unfortunately for those playing the pick six, I thought the most difficult race to make the morning line was race number 5. You've got a couple first. I see most of these horses, and I'm morning line favored 2-punch cat at odds of 5-2. And certainly, the way I try to tell people when I make the morning line, it's not necessarily the horse I like that I make the morning line favorite. It's the horse I think the public's going to bet the most on. But to me, this is the toughest of the 6 races in the sequence.
And Orlando, you were able to catch up with Chuck Treece here, and for the viewers watching these at home, I'll insert the interview here for Chuck Treece talking about his runners on the outside. The experience is a 6-horse, but he also has that first-time starter, Lucky Lupe, and he mentioned that is this one for a fairly new ownership in Guadalupe Guzman.
That's right, Jose. And this race, it's kind of hard to figure out who's going to go to the lead, right? And that's what Chuck Treece is hoping with adding blinkers on number 6. No Malice will help her kind of get off to a fast start. And that could change the complexion of this race quite a bit.
We're here with trainer Charles Treece, the winningest trainer of thoroughbreds in the history of Los Alamitos racecourse. Here we have a 1,000-yard race, and you have a couple of young thoroughbreds going in there. Let's start with the one with experience, No Malice. Ran a solid 3rd last time out. What are the keys to maybe getting to the winner's circle on Saturday?
Well, yeah, he ran a good race the last time, and but now this time we're going to put blinkers. We're adding blinkers to him, and see if we can put some more speed in on him and see if we can win a race.
Are you worried about the other horses, showing some speed early on? Any horse in particular, perhaps?
No, not really. It just, most of these races are speed races, so he'll have his hands full. But I think with the blinkers, it might move him up a little more.
How about a first-time starter, Lucky Lupe?
Lucky Lupe, Lupe Guzman owns him, and a great guy, a good family. They've just kind of got into the racing and bought quite a few horses from Tommytown Thoroughbred, and we're just trying to get Lupe in the winner's circle.
What's the style going to be for this runner? You think might show some speed? You want to play him off of No Malice? What?
Yeah, I don't think it's his first start, and but he's been working really good, and he's got some speed out of the gate. But horses that's already run a few races, they always have a little advantage. But we'd like to see Lupe win a race.
Absolutely. Best of luck on Saturday, Chuck.
Thank you very much.
Ed, do you think 2-punch cat, even though that one is stepping up in class, ran fairly well to be competitive now against this group?
Yeah, I just don't know how much this horse actually. I mean, it looks on paper like the horse is really stepping up. But Van Slammer, who the 2-punch cat ran 3rd against last time out, it's a rocket ship out of the gate and came back to win for $3,500. I thought the first-time starter Lucky Lupe was an interesting outsider in the race because the dam won a maiden $50,000 claimer, 3rd start of its career at Hollywood Park. So I think there might be a little breeding aspect there. And the one Prince of Music, Diego Herrera, has been riding super. Coming from the Bob Lucas barn, and on the past performance lines, it doesn't show that first workout back in July 18th, but it was a 34:60 workout, which is pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And I just got a feeling one of the 2 first-time starters will make some noise in here. But as far as playing a pick 6, unfortunately, I would almost have to buy this race if I thought there were a couple singles down the road because the other horses all look about the same to me.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tricky first leg here. Allowance event. They're going 1,000 yards in race number 5. Let's move along to race number 6. Maiden Claimers going for a tag of Maiden claiming $8,000 in this spot. These are the early draft past performances, so these are not the official, official past performances as a printing time. But who did you end up making the morning night favorite in this race?
Okay, I think one of those horses you're showing right now. The 5. There's only 5 horses in the race right now.
Yeah,
the 6th scratched.
But the 5 horse, just a separate Royal, was the horse that scratched out of the race. So
right, yeah.
The horse I made the morning line favorite was the number 2 horse. I'm Tough Tonight, dropping into a much easier spot, coming out of a race in which the 3rd place finisher came back and won pretty convincingly against Straight Maidens, and a horse who finished off the board, Mr. Consolation MV, came back and finished 2nd. So I just think with the class drop, I'm Tough Tonight's definitely the horse to beat, but I don't feel confident in singling I'm Tough Tonight. You've got class dropping beyond being in the race, and you've got a horse called Dash and Prize who galloped out really nicely last time out, and that was against a good group in the finals of the claiming stakes. Women's Secrets has been a multiple winner at the meet, so I thought it was a pretty contentious event.
And Eddie, Women's Secrets won the Los Alamitos Claiming Futurity, then comes back and qualifies to the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity last weekend. So, like you mentioned, a pretty competitive field that Dash and Price is entering from, and now with Jesus Nunez again taking care of the horses from EG High Desert Farms. The horses did not switch barns; they stay in the same barns, but they are switching trainers. Jesus Nunez now saddling number 4, Dash and Price.
Right. I think, Dash and Prize, you made a good point with Women's Secrets coming back to qualify for the upcoming PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity. So you definitely have to use Dash and Prize. And Bet Through the Eagle, the horse drawn on the far outside from the Valentin Zamudio barn, a pretty decent workout before the debut. Worked with a horse called Selena Blue, who came back to win, I believe, for maiden 8,000. And Bet Through the Eagle was best in that drill by a neck. So I think we've covered the entire field. The one I don't particularly like is the 3 BCR Braveheart.
Yeah.
The horse stopped pretty bad last time out, but I think 1, 2, 4, or 5, any one of those 4 could win.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky first couple of legs, I think, to begin the pick 6 on this Saturday evening. But yeah, BDR Braveheart just hasn't really been consistent at the gate and has led himself to many troubled trips. Race number 7, the start of the late pick 4. We got a good field. This is a pretty interesting race because we have invaders from an invader from Reynoso and Rip Wheeler, and we also have a first-time starter from their own KW. And KW worked with a runner that was disqualified last week. The name is escaping me right now.
Smoking Up, I believe.
Yeah.
Smoking King Up.
Some King Up. That horse worked in company with that one, and who won but was disqualified. So now KW making the first start tonight.
Right. Well, I watched the workout on KW, and the horse drifted in throughout. Got outworked by a neck. I thought the horse worked pretty well, but I'm a little concerned about the rail post position drop. The horse does the same thing on the race, and going from a 220-yard workout to a 300-yard race. In the workouts, the horses don't cross that gap. They start right there at the gap. Now in a 300-yard race, you've got to deal with the horse maybe ducking in before the 8th pole. So that's going to hurt, in my opinion, the one's chances. So my best play of the night's in this race. I like the 3-horse Fortunate Corona. Was a big fan of this horse early in the year. Has been freshened since a much troubled effort last time out. Broke about a length and a half slow. Puts the flipping halter on. I like the post position draw. The 4-horse in here, Crystal Prize, usually doesn't break that sharp. And the 2-horse Kip Wheeler veered in badly at the start of that last workout. So if all things go the way I think they might go on paper, I think Fortunate Corona gets the job done here.
Yeah, and I got the replay now going here for Fortunate Corona, Ed. And this is going to be the final trial on the Edberg Trials night, and he was in gate number 7. What did you see this night?
Well, let's take a look right here, because I think what you're going to see is not what you want to see. If we're going to bet on this horse here on Saturday, Fortunate Corona just broke about a length and a half slow, and after breaking slow, you can see right there it fell well back of the field. But I thought that the horse had some run late. And according to my chart, if I give the horse a length and a half trouble with a clean start, that horse would have gone 17.92. First 2 finishes qualify for the finals of the Edberg Million. So I think with Fortunate Corona here, the horse had quite a bit of run there crossing the wire against this much, much easier field. Will be very tough to beat.
Yeah,
and Eddie, that last workout this horse is coming in from, the work on August 7th, I was pretty impressed by the way this horse just worked from start to finish. Pretty solid effort.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid effort. My only concern, the horse was not particularly quick out of the gate in that workout, but really showed good acceleration about 50 yards later. I just think this is a pretty soft field for the level. So I think Fortunate Corona is in a great spot. Again, like I mentioned, Crystal Prize has not been that quick early, and Kip Wheeler veered in badly at the start of that last workout over the track. So I just think Fortunate Corona is going to have a clear path, and with the flipping halter on, should be able to get out of the gate.
Yeah, very, very tricky sequence thus far, but I do think Fortunate Corona, prior to making his debut back in April, he had been working very well as well. So he's always had potential. I was a big fan of the mare Matabari, and hopefully he can flash some of that talent from the mare there, Matabari. Fortunate Corona, the 3-horse in race number 7. Moving along, race number 8, the final pick 3 of the night. This is an allowance event, 300 yards. We're left with a field of 6. Single meet goes for Sergio Morfin. Orlando, you were able to catch up with Sergio Morfin. So let's take a quick break to catch up with Sergio Morfin about his thoughts here with single meet. Well, forget that, Orlando. We have it in Spanish. So if you want to listen to Sergio Morfin in Spanish, watch out to the Spanish section. We'll catch up with Sergio Morfin. But he claimed this one off of that good maiden diploma. His time wasn't as good, Ed, here, 15.99. He's probably going to have to improve here, but he did it very easily that night.
The one thing that Sergio Morfin did say is that this horse, he started watching this horse during trials night to the Los Alamitos, claiming futurity. Horse ran 5th to the actual winner of that, the final of the claiming futurity Women's Secrets. The horse comes back, goes in for $8,000, and this time Sergio Morfin does not waste any time, claims the horse. He did mention that one of the things that really attracted him to this horse is the sire, Kitty Up. He really likes the Kitty Up runners. They're solid, they're well built, and I saw the horse there at the barn with him. He has him on an outside pen. Yeah. The horse is nice and relaxed there, Sergio says. So he's looking forward to the horse being competitive in this race. Number 2, God Loves Cowboys, coming here from Reynoso Downs. And one thing that caught my eye there is the mare. A lot of love for Robin. This horse was the second fastest qualifier to the 2011 All-American Futurity. Finished 4th in the final. And we've seen some of her babies do really well here at Los Alamitos, including Lotto Bluesman, a horse that won the Golden State Million Futurity.
Yeah, that's the horse I made the 9-5 morning line favorite, Orlando. God Loves Cowboys. Pretty impressed with that victory back at Rio Dos. And what I've noticed about a lot of these horses coming in from the mountain area back in New Mexico, where the altitude's about 7,000 feet, you're coming down to sea level. And these horses usually run their best first time over the track. God Loves Cowboys is going to have plenty of conditioning edge over these horses, going from 440 back to 300. Horse that God Loves Cowboys beat last time out had previously run second in a Rainbow Futurity trial. And back at Remington Park, God Loves Cowboys ran against a horse called One Famous Candy, who came back to win a Futurity at Prairie Meadows. So I think on a class standpoint, God Loves Cowboys will be very, very tough to beat.
I also looked at the replay for She Bleeds Speed at debut win there at Reynoso, going for 100. And it wasn't a trial, it was just a straight maiden, but they were going for 100 yards. She did drift in a little bit midway, but she was able to hold sway there by about a neck. And the time was pretty solid for the maiden level.
Yeah, pretty solid for the maiden level. The difference is that God Loves Cowboys won an All-American Futurity trial. So I think God Loves Cowboys definitely has the edge. And Burning Dream, I would not completely disregard the horse on the bottom for trainer Cesar Dialba and Diego Herrera. This horse showed good acceleration the final 50 yards last time out and will be clear of trouble on the outside. I really think one of those 3 will win this race, the 2, 1, or 6, but I definitely give a big edge to the 2.
And one of the things also about God Loves Cowboys is this horse ran at Remington Park, so he has run under the lights before. So sometimes we get horses that are coming from Reynoso Downs. They've only ran during the daytime. This horse has been competing at night in the past, so that kind of brings it all together for this horse to be pretty tough to beat. Would he be a single on a night like this, Eddie, on a pick 6?
There isn't a real strong single, a really solid single in my opinion, but definitely this is the horse that I would probably, if I was keeping the ticket fairly reasonable, would be one of the horses I would single. Would be God Loves Cowboys.
Yeah, you mentioned Burning Dream, and I made Burning Dream my top pick in the night lines here. And we're going to I'm going to bring the replay up here. Burning Dream was in gate 3 in this field of 6 back on August 28th. She did go favorite off of that solid debut effort. And she brought, what I liked about her 2 starts is that she's shown the ability to break well. And now that she's drawn on the outside, that might be an advantage. You already have good experience. You're breaking well. And with that gate speed, that might put her in a good position here for Cesar Dialba and Diego Herrera.
No, I agree with you there. I really like the way the horse finished last time out and does have the advantage of racing under the lights over the track and drawn on the far outside. But I still think God Loves Cowboys, who comes off a good victory in the All-American Futurity trials, will be my top selection.
All right, moving along. There's 2 races left. You know what time it is. Late double time here at Los Al on races 9 and 10. And we're going to take a look at this 300-yard maiden event. How about a maiden event here to kind of add to the twist of this pick 6 sequence? There's horses that don't really have not shown the ability to break all that well. And I feel like this is going to be one of those races where a runner like that has recent good form like Lady Cartel might be overbet, but I'm not so sure if I like that inside post.
No, I mean, the horse comes off a really good effort last time out. Broke well, ran hard all the way down the track, and beat a horse who came back to win against Maidens next time out. But I think the most talented horse in the field, but has been trouble prone, is the 3-horse Look Up. Really like the replay of this horse's last race. Stumbled badly in the hindquarters coming out of the gate and ducked in severely. It was lucky the rider didn't fall off, but you watch the gallop out past the wire. This horse is absolutely loaded with energy on the gallop out of that really good mare Looker Over. And I think Look Up is definitely the most talented in the field. But again, we've got to know what she's going to do in the gates and whether, or what he'll do in the gates and whether he's going to break.
Yeah, he's there. He was coming off a bit of a layoff in that race as well. And I'm going to bring up the replay real quick here for Look Up. This was going to be August 14th. And he was going to be from the rail, right, Ed, this night?
Yeah, he was from the rail this night, and he stumbles real bad in the hindquarters coming out of the gate. Right there, you can see him ducked in. Surprised the rider was able to stay on, and you can see how far down, try to duck in there again into the gap and almost skim the inner rail. But I don't know how far out you're going to follow the horse crossing the wire. But this horse, when the jock lets a notch out on the reins past the wire, this horse will really gallop out nicely there going into the clubhouse turn. You can see how much run Look Up has right there. So I think that's a telltale sign that if this horse gets out of the gate clean, should be very tough to beat.
This field included Precisionist, who also qualified to the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity. Mm-hmm. And so coming off of a pretty solid effort in the way this horse galloped out, Eddie, you're right. Looks like with a clean start, should be pretty tough to beat. This whole field is full of some really nice mares. Quirky is the mother of number 2, and Odd Sort. You mentioned Looker Over, the mother of the 3 Look Up. The 4, Maximo Cristal, out of Champion Walk Through Cristal. And the 6, Nuclear Core, Thermonuclear Energy, a Grade 1 winner here at Los Alamitos, is the dam of Nuclear Core.
Yeah, Nuclear Core. I watched that tape at Ruidoso Downs. The horse kind of tossed the head around when the gates opened. And didn't run that badly, but the horse who won that race came back and finished in an All-American Futurity trial. So Christopher Odell's back out here with some 2-year-olds and a few other 3-year-olds for the latter part of the meet after competing at Ruidoso Downs during the summer. And again, this is the horse that's coming down from that high altitude down to the sea level of Los Alamitos. So definitely think you have to use this horse in the pick 6 as well.
Yeah, and from the family lines, Thermonuclear Energy, they were known to really finish well as the distance got longer. We'll see how that one handles cutting back in distance to 300 yards here tonight. All right, how about to end the night, the racing office throws us an 110-yard allowance. How about this? 110-yard allowance to end the card and end the pick 6 sequence. A little bit of an interesting puzzle here to end the night.
Yeah, Michael Roney has about 7 seconds to get out about 4 or 5 names. I think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's strictly between the 3 Teller Jazz, who's accomplished at the distance, and the 4-horse Scott Corona Jazz, who can fly out of the gate. I know Separate Delight's probably the other contender, having won at this distance last time out, but time-wise, I think Teller Jazz is strictly the one to beat. And like I mentioned, Got a Corona Jazz coming out of a longer race back into a shorter dash. But Jesus Ayala, who competed most of the summer back at Ruidoso, has been our leading rider here the past couple of years. Whenever he's riding for Lindolfo Diaz, they're deadly. So I got to think one of those two is going to win.
Yeah, I want to show that replay of Got a Corona Jazz. It was even though it was a longer race, and she's trying distance for the first time. I want to focus on the early part of the race. That was a Sgt. Pepper feature, and Got a Corona Jazz was on the rail this night. And I thought if you just focus on the first 100 to 150 yards of this race, she was right there in the mix, battling for the lead against this group. She's going to break fairly well from that inside post. Good acceleration early on. And at the gap, she's right there with this field. So cutting back in distance, I think, would be a good fit here for Got a Corona Jazz.
Yeah, and those are really good horses. I mean, Other World, who won the race, was coming off a prior victory. And the third place finisher, Jet Wings, won as a horse I believe ran second in the kindergarten futurity here last year. So nobody of that quality in this particular field. So you're right, with the cut back in distance, I think you definitely have to give Got a Corona Jazz a big chance.
But she's got to beat the track record holder at 110 yards.
Yeah.
Teller Jazz going, horse that won with a time of 6.97 and came back recently to win another race at 110 yards, going 7.09. So Taylor Jazz MRL with a clean break. She's going to be the one to catch early on, but like you mentioned, got a Corona Jazz with that jockey trainer combination. Very, very tough to kind of overlook.
Right, and Separate Delight, you can't completely disregard Separate Delight. Has won twice at the distance and wasn't that far behind Teller Jazz. You can't make a mistake out of the gate in these 110-yard dashes, obviously. And, Separate Delight's been pretty honest as well. So if you're wanting to go 3 deep, I mean, they're the 3 favorites. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that one out. But I think 3, 4, and 5, but 3 and 4 are much the best, in my opinion.
And how tricky is it when they're drawn right next to each other? When that could lead to some interesting, that could lead to some bumping. Somebody, sometimes when you go 2 or 3 deep and you use the horse right next to each other, if they bump each other, you're kind of eliminating yourself. So that's always something that could be very tricky in a race like this.
Well, that's true. Let's just hope that they both get away so quick that it won't make any difference. That they'll just be able to get the jump in the field, because I don't think these other horses in here are quite as quick away from the gate as either the 3 or the 4. And I think the 4, you just showed the replay off of that comeback effort last time out, and now shortening up should be very tough to beat.
All right. Well, that was very fun. Good to catch up with you. So we'll see you on site on Sunday. Is that correct?
You'll see me on site on Sunday. I'll be doing the show with Kurt Hoover before the thoroughbred races. And Orlando wanted to see my dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We got to see your dogs.
I miss listening. There's great stories about Princess.
That one's sleeping.
There it is.
There it is.
Princess. We're working on having a Halloweeny dog race. When we have our Halloween carnival. So you think we can get Princess trained? Do we have time to maybe give her a little workout and see Princess out here on October 23rd if we put this race together, Eddie?
Well, she's got a little bit of a breathing problem right now, so I don't think so. I mean, I don't want to have to put her. I don't want to have to put her on Lasix. How's that?
Yeah, we can't do that.
No, we can't do that.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Ed. Good to hear you and see you. Yes, and hopefully we get to see you on site on Sunday night. People can watch the preview show through the Los Alamitos website with the live video feature. They can watch you preview the card for the daytime with Kurt Hoover, and also. Orlando, is the handicapping contest on Saturday or Sunday this upcoming week?
It's Saturday.
So handicapping on Saturday, yeah. Handicapping on track on Sunday, and then the preview show with Ed Burgart on Sunday. Ed, how about those UCLA Bruins, Ed?
Love the Bruins, and like I told Orlando before, coming up with this high school reunion on Saturday night, so I'll make sure I'm done early so I can be focused on Sunday with Kurt Hoover, and got the Mildred Vessels, I think, on Sunday night as well. So it's going to be a good night for quarter horse racing as well.
All right, Ed. Thanks so much for joining us, Orlando. Anything else you want to share with Eddie?
I'll save the bar stool here for you. I'll save a space right here next to me here at the Vessels Club.
Just hope I don't fall off of it.
Yeah. Rah.
All right, guys.
Have a good night, Ed. See you on Sunday. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Welcome back to the show. And in addition to catching up with Chuck Treece earlier today, Orlando, you were able to catch up with one of our rising young stars in the jockey ranks. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to see some of these horses, some of these jockeys that begin riding some thoroughbred races at first, and then they start picking up some wins. And then they kind of get into the swing of things with the quarter horses. Henry Reynoso Lopez is one of them. He kind of started riding a few more thoroughbreds, but quarter horse racing is in his blood. His stepdad is Sergio Gonzalez, someone that I've heard so much about over the years. He's the brother of Felix Gonzalez, the trainer, but Sergio is one of the top horsemen introducing young horses to the saddle, breaking horses before they ever begin their racing career. So Henry kind of got started doing that type of work, and you can see that horsemanship that he has carried through here on the ranks riding horses here at night. So he's got a couple of horses in the late quarter horse races tonight. We talked about Bello Cartel, a horse that he's riding for the first time in race number 7. That's the number 5 horse in this race. And then he talked about another exceller, an 8-1 long shot in race number 8, but a horse that he's had experience riding in the past. So that's Henry Reynoso Lopez. We caught up with him, how he got started, and just touched base on some of these top runners that he'll be riding on Saturday night.
Here's Henry.
We're very fortunate to be joined by one of the rising stars in the world of quarter horse racing and thoroughbred racing as well here at Los Alamitos Racecourse. Henry Reynoso Lopez has ridden some big time horses, including Monopolist, who won a big race last weekend in the trials of the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity. And what a great career. Next month you'll be celebrating 2 years since you started. So still a very young man in this business, but already reaching some great heights. Tell me about early on in your career. How did you get started in the world of quarter horse racing and horse racing in general?
Well, my stepdad, Sergio Gonzalez, really initiated my career, because he just took me under his wing and taught me how to ride and give me really good foundation. You know, just put my mind right in the right spot. And then my uncle, he got me started at the racetrack professionally. So I'm very, excited to be riding for my uncle here and there.
And of course, your uncle, Felix Gonzalez.
Felix Gonzalez, yes. We got the fastest qualifier for the PCQHRA.
Breeders' Futurity, El Tío Angel.
Yes, sir.
How was that mount like?
Oh, he's just a horse. Very professional in the gates. He gives you his all every start.
Early on in your career, what has been the biggest challenge that you faced to get to this level?
Just people watching you, getting the opportunities for you to start showing what you know how to do, pretty much.
And on Saturday night, let's talk about some of the horses that you'll be riding. Bello Cartel is one of them. You haven't been on this horse before. How do you approach a horse that you haven't ridden in the past?
I just try to watch the last replay he's ran, watch the complaints he had on the program or something, and then just watch the replay and see what I have to do better or to try to improve its race.
You're focusing on the trouble comments from past races.
Yes.
Another horse that you'll be riding, another exceller for trainer Paul Jones, but you've ridden this horse before for trainer Jimmy Glenn Jr.
Correct.
You won on this horse
Correct.
before.
He went for 6,250 or something like that, and he's just a horse. He tries his guts out. He's in a good spot. I really think he could do
good things.
Do good things. He'll be in the money, I think.
You mentioned your stepfather, Sergio Gonzalez.
Correct.
That name is very famous in the quarter horse racing world because he's introduced a lot of young horses, countless of young horses to the saddle. Have you ever been part of that side, breaking horses?
Yes, every year.
Wow.
Since I was 12.
How does that experience help you on the track?
It just helps you get hands, you not to be too aggressive with them. You know how to handle yourself with crazier horses, hotter horses. It just gives you a really good foundation.
Thank you so much for the time, Henry, and congratulations on the success and good luck this Saturday.
Appreciate it.
All right, Orlando. Henry Lopez there, young rider. Like you mentioned, began thoroughbreds. He's riding quarter horse. He's doing the double breed here tonight, this season. He's doing well with both breeds. He's picking up the mount on Bello Cartel for the first time, a running that ran very well as a betting favorite last time out. He's going to be in race number 7, which is part of the pick 4 and pick 6 sequence. And the thing about Bello Cartel, I thought he's been very competitive despite getting into trouble. If he can find a way to not get into any kind of trouble, he should be in the mix of things there in race number 7.
Yeah, and that's this race that we talked about with Fortunate Corona, Rip Wheeler, Crystal Prize. But yeah, you're right, Jose. If this horse can just maintain that ability of just cleaning, getting out of the way clean, this horse has talent.
Yeah, he's now in the barn of Jorge Farias for owner Jose Luis Valdez. He's also got another exceller, nicely bred for Dr. Ed Allred, now claimed in the barn of Paul Jones and owner Adolfo Perez. And I think the positive fact about this runner is that his maiden diploma came under Henry Lopez. So Henry Lopez getting back aboard should be a good thing here for another exceller.
This horse is extremely well bred. The mother produced the winner of the Ed Burgart Million Futurity last year. The young sire, Fly Through the Fire. We've seen some really nice horses sire by Fly Through the Fire. And, Henry's excited about, getting an opportunity to ride this horse back. And, of course, that experience of having ridden him before against some solid horses in the past. Famous Fancy Pants is a pretty nice horse. Separate Cruises qualified to the Futurity, right?
Yeah.
Last week, the PCQA Cherry Breeders Futurity. Those are some of the horses that another exceller has faced in the past. But, of course, he's got to take on the number 2 horse in this race, God Loves Cowboys. That horse is 9-5 on Ed Burgart's morning line in race number 8 here on Saturday night.
Yeah, good allowance event, race number 8. That will begin the final pick 3 of the evening. So good to catch up with Henry Lopez, an upcoming rider that's having a very good season there. So we went through the sequence with Ed Burgart, Orlando. But in addition to this weekend, the big carryover here for the pick 6, Sunday night, we got the Vessels Maturity. I have it right here in the calendar, right there. The Mildred Vessels, as we look forward to the Los Alamitos Wild West Futurity Trials next week. But the Millie Vessels on Sunday, Monty Arrossa has some very nice contenders in there.
Yeah, of course, Apollitical Patty, the winner of the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity last year, the winner of the Los Alamitos Oaks earlier this year. Can't forget about what happened her last start in the trials of the Golden State Derby. So I had an opportunity to catch up with Monty Arrossa just to see how Apollitical Patty is doing, getting ready for this big race, and just kind of get his thoughts about what happened in that last race, and then from there moving forward, looking forward to the Mildred Vessels Memorial Handicap here on Sunday.
Let's catch up with Monty Arrossa there.
We're here with trainer Monty Arrossa. This Sunday night is the running of the Grade 1 Mildred Vessels Memorial Handicap, a historic race here at Los Alamitos. The top female runners get together for that big race, and of course Apollitical Patty certainly fits the bill as one of the top female runners here at Los Alamitos. But she's coming off of a very difficult, troubled start. Actually, just a troubled night, because she didn't get to officially run a race, even though she did get going after what happened in the gate. Can you take us back in what happened on that night and your emotions, when that happened?
Sure, that was a pretty difficult night. I'm not sure exactly what happened at the gate. I don't know that the filly moved at the wrong time, but she broke in the air and the rider came off. And it really wasn't anybody's fault. The rider did a good job, the starter did a great job. It just was, bad timing, and filly was quite a ways behind him, and then, she come running down through there and was running pretty hard. My first thought was about the rider. I wanted to make sure that he was okay, and I cut through the paddock and checked up on him, and he was all right, and looked back to the track and saw the filly, running loose around the backside, and thank heavens, we have the best outrider in the country, Keith Craigmile, and he picked her up and kept her safe and got her back to us. And so a lot of emotions, disappointed, but thankful that the filly was okay and didn't get hurt in the race, and just very thankful to everybody that helped out. Like I say, very blessed that the rider didn't get hurt, and it was just one of those unfortunate situations in racing, and we're going to try to put that one behind us and look forward.
So after that night, how has she been training? What has been kind of like the schedule to get her prepared for this race? Because it's a big race.
Yeah, this is a very tough older horse race for the mares, and she came back kind of mad after the race. She's a fireball, and she's got a lot of go to her, and so we've tracked her. We've spent a lot of time at the gates with her. I mean, that's even as a 2-year-old, that was an area that she needed some time. So we've spent a lot of extra time at the starting gate with her, and she's training well. She's prepared well, for this race, and hopefully she has some better luck.
Now, Armando Cervantes back riding here at Los Alamitos, he'll get them out.
Yeah, Armando rode her all last year, and he had injured his collarbone. He's back, and he's been taking her. He was on her yesterday, took her to the gate and galloped her, and he's healed up well, and he's doing well, and they seem to fit. He knows her style, and she knows his style, and so glad to have Armando back.
Looking forward to the Mildred Vessels Memorial Handicap here on Sunday night at Apollitical Patty, one of the top runners in the race.
Thank you.
So there was Monty Arrossa talking about his big star hitting in the Mildred Vessels. So we're going to put that incident behind him. Good credit for to the horsemanship there, Kate Kremau, getting this one safe, back and ready to go. They've been working with her now, Orlando. It appears like she might be ready to go now, with a clean start. And I believe Armando Cervantes is taking the mount back.
Yeah, that's what Monty said. And it's going to be an excellent race. Kiss Through the Fire, the winner of the Charger Bar Handicap earlier this year, is one of the top contenders in that race as well. J Best Boogie, of course, that won the Tammy Purcell and looked so good as a 2-year-old last year. Wambui, a stakes winner earlier this year as well. So we don't have the lineup yet of the horses that will be actually racing in the Mildred Vessels or the post positions, but look for that on our website, as well as the stories on the Mildred Vessels coming up this Sunday. A grade 1 race. The top female runners here on the grounds will be clashing in the Mildred Vessels at 400 yards here on Sunday night, Jose.
Looking forward to it. So we got double headers here this week, once again, Orlando, Saturday and Sunday. What are our approximate post times for the nighttime cards? Do you have an idea right now?
6:20 p.m. 6:20 p.m. for our Saturday card. The big carryover getting underway in race number 5. So join us for a great Saturday of action. The NHC qualifier on Saturday. Some excellent thoroughbred races happening. Of course, our big carryover night on Saturday night. And on Sunday, there's going to be the Los Alamitos special running on Sunday. That's a $100,000 race during the daytime. There is another, I believe, the Dark Image. I believe that's the name of the a stakes race that has been added to the Sunday card during the daytime. And, of course, the Mildred Vessels in the evening.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much for all the information. Before I let you go, Orlando, how about the Dolphins?
Oh, man, what a win. What a win. We hold on to win. Jalen Waddle with a nice victory.
Were you sweating? How were you sweating? How much were you sweating?
Oh, big time. And then Xavier Howard with the big fumble strip on the Patriots. There's nothing like getting an early season win. There's nothing like beating the New England Patriots on the road and being in first place. And they got all that done in week 1. Man, we're rolling, Jose.
It was one of the greatest week 1s for the Dolphins in years, right? I mean,
yes.
So it must have been like an unreal feeling to be like week 1 seemed like a championship.
Can we stop the season?
Yeah.
Can we stop the season right now?
You know how
right into the playoff.
When we watch horses, we're like our horse breaks. We're like, stop the race. Yeah. Now you're saying stop the season. That's it. We can end it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you guys facing week 2?
We got a tough game, the Bills, Buffalo Bills, but it's a home game. They're coming off of a loss against the Steelers. So our defensive backs got to be ready to play because Josh Allen's going to be throwing all over the field.
All right. Well, we'll keep following it. You did give us Dolphins over season totals. You gave it to us in the first show when I asked you. They're off and rolling. That's all you can ask for at this point.
Yeah, UCLA Bruins are doing well.
Yeah.
Dolphins off of a nice victory. The Dodgers,
they're inching towards San Francisco. They finally won a game while the Giants lost a game. Which hadn't happened like in 2 weeks or something like that, which is ridiculous. So it's everything's turning up hot right now, Orlando. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks so much, Jose.
The Los Alamitos Equine Sale, showcasing the finest quarter horse racing lines in the sport. Its graduates include many great champions, $1 million futurity winners, and recent major graded stakes winners. Find your next champion and major stakes winner at the Los Alamitos Equine Sale October 2nd and 3rd. For more, visit LosAlamitoSequineSale.com.
Welcome back to the program. Now joined here with Christopher Wade, who does a great job on the Los Alamitos simulcast signal, bringing you analysis live from the paddock every single night by every single race. Chris, just had a chat with Orlando. Last time out, I think I overshot the estimate. I'm saying $100K in new money would gets us maybe to $150K. Kind of that's where I'm thinking for this Saturday night.
Yeah, I kind of overshot the last time we had a big carryover too. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than it was. It was still a nice size ticket, nice size pool. I'm figuring probably 125, 130, something along those lines, maybe a little bit more than you, but it's going to be a nice way to start off the weekend.
And it's not an easy sequence. I don't think there's a definite strong favorite that jumps out of the page just glancing at it. There might be one Invader from Reynoso that looks like a very strong favorite, but I don't feel like there's going to be legs where it's going to be very narrowed down. I think it's a very nice sequence here on Saturday night. Pick 6 will begin race number 5, but what race do you want to take a look at?
Well, I'm looking at race number 7, kicks off the late pick 4. I'm looking at Crystal Prize. This is a trouble-prone runner deluxe. This horse, E.G. had their farm, goes back into Jesus Nunez's shadow here with this runner for the first time. This horse has been troubled pretty much in every lifetime start. Yeah. The horse's last effort broke slow, was crossed, and then it angled out, and it finished pretty well in close quarters. I earned up give this horse a pretty good figure off of that effort. This horse just break from post number 5 in that last effort on August 5th. This horse broke slow and was crossed away from the gate, and then it angled out for clearance, but finished very, very strongly versus Western Slope, who was well meant that particular night. We had a perfect trip, and this horse was starting out well on her own, and galloped out very, very well. So it's a very impressive performance. On my figures, this horse has a big look at the outcome because this field favorite Ambassador, kind of trouble-prone. Same could be said about Fortune Corona. So this is a trouble-prone runner deluxe. This horse does fine. You got a KW with some nice workouts for the debut for Jose Flores, and rest in peace Willard. Nice workout on the ship in too. So I'll go with the Los Al Loco with hopefully a clean getaway tonight at a nice price there at 9-2 in the program. Very well could float a little bit, but you never know. But kind of a good looker at the price.
Yeah, she has shown flashes of talent at times, like her second place finish at 24-1, a second last time out. She's out of that mare. Walked through Crystal, who I believe began her career 5 for 5. I think winning the kindergarten and maybe the Ed Burke, if I remember correctly. But she was a very talented race mare. So Crystal Price has shown the ability to finish there. Let's see if she can break a little bit better there in that race number 7. Who would probably be the horse you kind of probably scares you a bit? Who would be the alternate in this spot? Like if she doesn't break well, who you think could be the other runner?
Well, the shipper coming in with a nice workout pattern there for Mike Robbins, R.I.P. Willard, and of course the first time starter KW down the inside got a nice workout pattern too. But I'm gonna give this horse a look at a nice little price. But you can go any number of ways. I'm gonna give this horse a good look though.
All right, that's gonna be Crystal Price for Chris Wade in race number 7. That is the start of the late pick 4. Also, of course, part of that pick 6 sequence with a very nice carryover. Chris, thanks again for joining us. We'll talk to you next week.
You too. You have a good night.
See ya.
The Southern California Thoroughbred Racing Circuit is back at Los Alamitos with the LA County Fair Meet. Opening day is Friday, September 10th. 5 stakes races highlight the meet, led by the Los Alamitos Special on Sunday, September 19th. That weekend will also feature an on-track live money handicapping contest on Saturday, September 18th. You could win a trip to the 2022 NHC. The LA County Fair Meet is back at Los Alamitos. Opening day is Friday, September 10th. For more, visit losalamitos.com.
Now joined by the voice of Los Alamitos, both day and night. We're now heading to the weekend of September 18th and 19th, which you saw in that commercial. We have the Los Alamitos Special and also the on-track handicapping tournament there for all the horse players on Sunday. But this time around, we're going to talk about at night, Michael, because we have a big pick 6 carryover for Saturday night.
Yes, indeed, Jose. And I'm going to talk about a horse in the 9th race, which will be the second last leg in the sequence. And, we don't know how many tickets will be alive come race number 9. Mm-hmm. But I know that Chris had a horse in the 7th. Hopefully we can help the fans out across this sequence, because that pool is going to be ginormous.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of nice, given that we have the daytime cards, I feel like a lot of the players that are during the daytime, they'll bet a ticket before they head out the door. They'll probably get involved and have a ticket punched in before they head out for the day as we get ready for the nighttime card. But you're going to look at race number 9, which is the start of the late double there. Who are you looking at here in this event?
Yeah, this is a 300-yard, 2-year-old maiden. The favourite has the rail and was just beaten last time out, but it was a blanket finish and now has to deal with the inside gate. I'm just going for a slightly better price with a horse called Look Up, who's 3-1 on the morning line, drawn gate number 3. The horse started an odds-on favourite on debut back in April, finished second, then came out 2 weeks later and got bumped around at the start, was put away for a few months, and returned a month ago from gate number 1, and all sorts of things went horrendously wrong, as you'll see in this replay.
Yeah, he's there in the number 2 horse this night, August 14th. I don't know how jockey Victor Salazar stayed aboard.
Yeah, he was almost tipped off, and the horse obviously took no effective part in the race and came in at the tail of the field after that. But I tell you what, if you catch a glimpse of this horse round the clubhouse turn and the gallop out, he was starting to pick up and show some very, very late interest. No good if you happen to bet on the horse on the occasion. But I think there's a lot more to offer. And second run off the layoff here from gate 3 with horses either side. Hopefully a straight beginning will carry Look Up a long way. You can see how erratic and almost perilous that break was from the rail draw last time out. Yeah. It's encouraging to me that they're not in a hurry to drop the horse into a claiming race. It comes back in a maiden special weight. And Precision was the horse beaten in the photo finish for the win in that race and came out to win a futurity trial last weekend. I suppose there has to be a big query on the Christopher Odell trained son of Thermonuclear Energy making his California debut off a couple of races at Ruidoso. That's number 6 Nuclear Core. And you have to always respect those connections. But I think that Look Up, is a very serious contender at a decent price, 3-1.
Yeah, Scott Willoughby and Victor Salazar teaming up there with Look Up. Out of that mare, Look Her Over. Some very good breeding lines there. And you mentioned this horse took money first time out. He was the betting favorite. Obviously, he had worked well in addition to his nice bloodlines. But let's hope tonight in gate number 3, getting off the rail leads to a much better start.
Yes, indeed. And I know you were chatting with the great Ed Burgart, apart from the greatest ever quarter horse race caller and an outstanding maker of morning lines. I've always revered Ed as a judge of form, and gives me a nice little confidence boost to know that he fancies his horse a little bit. I know that you had that little conversation with him off camera. So if Ed's on board, that's all good with me.
Yeah, now we have too much weight on the horse because I gave him the check mark 2 in the 9 lines. So
you did?
The three of us having this one as a pick. This horse might be having too much weight at this point. But
a few extra pounds to carry, at least when it comes to me. But give him strength. Race 9, number 3, and everyone who's playing the pick 6, I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, it should be a very nice pool and a nice sequence there to tackle in the pick 6. Michael, thanks a lot for the info. We'll talk to you next week.
Good on you, mate. Hooroo.
See you.
Now at Los Alamitos, it's weekends full of thrilling action.
Racing!
With live quarter horse and thoroughbred racing every Saturday and Sunday nights. More races on our weekend night, plus strong fields in our early and late pick 4s. And we're still adding $10,000 into our pick 6 pool when there's not a carryover going into the Sunday card. It's a great deal in our traditional pick 6. Don't miss a second of the thrilling action at Los Alamitos.
Racing!
Every Saturday and Sunday nights.